Hello YouTube denture family, I am Danielle and you are watching Danielle's Denture Diaries. Today I am going to do a very unscripted version of the good versus the not so anticipated or not so welcome things and events that come with dentures, the surgery, everything, just my overall thoughts. The reason why I feel like this video is going to be, maybe kind of repetitive for anyone that's been watching these videos, but I still want to do this one is because I've noticed we've hit 300 subscribers here, and a lot of people are asking questions as far as being fearful, things like that. So just to kind of come back, it's been, I'm saying a lot, I'm sorry. It's been about 3 months, so looking back, I'm going to kind of talk about the things that were good. I don't want to say they were any bad things, just things to be maybe mindful of when you go forward with the process, or things to keep in mind as you're going through it, just to know that you're not alone in these things maybe. But overall, I would never go back and undo what I've done. I would not take it back. I probably would have done it sooner, and I feel like that's something that I've been seeing in the comments pretty often, is that people would not undo their surgery or their decision, and in fact the only thing that they regret is not doing it sooner. And I've also seen that in other YouTube videos as well. Otherwise, some other good things are, for one, my teeth aren't falling out. And I mean that in the sense of I had individual crowns that were breaking and falling out and moving and shifting. Now, I'm sorry if that noise freaks anybody out, but now they don't move. They stay where they should, and that's with my Fixodent Max Hold adhesive that I use. I do have a soft reline. My first soft reline is still on my dentures right now. I am in the process of figuring out going in, getting an adjustment done to where it's cutting in right here, and getting my hard reline. But neither here nor there. Which, since I already mentioned it, we'll go ahead and cover that piece. Something that I didn't underestimate, I expected it, just not in my own unique way, I guess. I was expecting dentures to be uncomfortable and cause sores in the sense of rubbing. What I did not expect was for it to literally cut into the side. So literally this side right here, well, yeah. So this side right here, when it comes down, my jaw is like this apparently. When I pull down my bottom lip and I look at my gum line, it's like this. Well, this. So when the denture goes to sit, it sits here on this side just fine, but then it cuts in here deeper. And I wasn't expecting that. But if you didn't expect it, if you don't expect it, expect for things to just simply not fit like a glove every time. It is something that became more and more apparent as time is going on and I'm healing, but just keep it in mind. Like I said, I'll be going back in and I'm going to get that adjusted for sure. Hence, one reason why I'm not wearing my bottoms right now is because that gets to be very painful after wearing it all day. Another thing that kind of ties in with it that I personally underestimated was bone spurs / shards. People will call it different things. Some of it is different from the other and everything else, but the point is it's exposed bone that's being pushed out and expelled from your body that isn't necessary because it's a piece of a fragment that is useless now because those teeth were removed. What I underestimated was just how painful it could be. I've heard it that it's irritating, it's annoying. I didn't realize it could actually be painful. The small ones that I had were annoying, but I did have that big one on the one side that was physically painful. Wearing my bottom denture was almost unthinkable at one point. One thing that helped me with it was having the C-bond wafers as like a cushion or like a band-aid to go on it. But even then, that didn't really stop it until my dentist finally picked at it and it came off. So just keep that in mind too. I'm assuming that exposed bone or bone shards, bone chips, and everything else, it's all going to feel different for each person. So keep in mind that when someone says something's annoying to them, might be actually painful for you, or vice versa. Just because it was painful for me, you might not even notice that it's there until a dentist is like, oh, by the way, I removed this, so you're welcome. Some other things are timing. One big adjustment I had to make was I work full time, and when I wake up, I have to get myself ready, I have to get my son ready, then we're out the door, I make sure that he eats, and if not, he's eating in the car, and I'm driving, trying to make sure that I'm fully ready and I got everything I need in the car. I drop him off at daycare, I go to work full time. And I don't work in a proximity where I can come back home for anything I need or forget. I'm at work. It's done. So what I underestimated there was the time it would take to get a routine that would be efficient, that would be successful, and allow me to get my dentures in comfortably and not have to redo it by the time I got to work. So I did manage to crunch my routine down quite a bit since I first started with everything. When I first started, my routine would take me probably 15 to 20 minutes. And for me, time is precious. I don't want to be late to work. I want my son to be at daycare on time. Keeping him in a routine and consistency is very important. And I wanted this to be as simple as me putting on my makeup or putting on my uniform, doing my hair, whatever it is. This is now a part of it. So how do we make it work? And what I had realized I could be doing is that I would soak my denture, drop a tablet, brush my gums as it's soaking. Once it's done soaking and I'm done brushing my gums, I think I said denture, I then remove the dentures from the soak. I put in my Oral-B mouthwash for sores, swish that around as I'm brushing my denture, and as I'm still swishing, probably a second time too sometimes, I will put the adhesive in, smear it with a Q-tip, let it sit for a second to get nice and tacky. Then I will spit out my mouthwash, walk around with my mouth open. That's a great visual, right? I know. It's great. It's awesome. But I'll breathe with my mouth open to make my mouth as dry as possible. Then I will pop them in. I'll bite down on my fingers, get it nice and comfy, and usually at that point, I'm walking out the door. Don't ask me why I save it for almost last. I just feel like it's a great way to finish my look for the day. I don't know. If I am really pressed for time, I slept in, my son slept in, I have an earlier day at work, I will put just my top in, and I'll head out the door, and I'll finish up at work. So keeping extra supplies at your place of business or in your purse or in your car, whatever you need to do, I highly recommend doing that and having a emergency kit almost kind of for yourself, just to keep it on the safe side. So I didn't expect to have to do things like that. On a couple high notes, I'm smiling in pictures with my son, which for anyone still not having gone through this process yet and you're familiar with the situations of someone wanting to take a picture of you or with you, or you want to take a picture and just post a new selfie, or, you know, anything like that. You catch yourself not smiling, you're not laughing, you're holding back, you're hiding your face. Those are things that you can look forward to no longer needing to do. You can smile, you can open your mouth. The whole thing with your dentures are going to come flying out, I have to say that's almost too comical and cartoony for me. That's really not... Since I've actually had them, that hasn't even been a thought in my mind. There's been one day where I put too much adhesive in that I can feel my top fall in my mouth. My mouth wasn't open. And towards the end of the day, depending on a few different variables, including how much adhesive and everything else, they'll move towards the end of the day, but they're not going to fly out of your face like that. So try your best to modify that assumption or thought. Some other good things too are I can finally bite into a hot dog because I had teeth that were falling out or crowns that would fall out. I can bite into a hot dog now. And the feeling of biting into a hot dog was so amazing. I love hot dogs, guys. I do. I will never, ever in my life do a hot dog eating contest, but I do love hot dogs. So doing that, and even eating chicken nuggets, like I said in my last video. Some other benefits, too, are I tend to walk a little bit taller. I overall just feel better and more confident when I talk. And I talk for a living, not just here. This is more of a hobby and something that I want to do out of my love for it and care. But in my actual profession, I do talk to people one-on-one. And because of how my mouth was before, I would hold back. I would wonder if they were looking at my mouth the whole time. Very fearful. It made me potentially act different and be perceived different than I would have intended or wanted. Now, I have no problem smiling. I have no problem being animated. I have no problem laughing. Even when someone cracks a really bad joke, we crap jokes here. When someone cracks a really bad joke, I'll still laugh, and I can do that. I can afford to do that because I don't have something falling out of my mouth. So there's all of those things, and not to mention overall better quality of life. I can focus on other things besides my teeth and pain and upkeep and basic hygiene like brushing my teeth without a tooth falling out. I can focus on things like doing my nails. I can focus on coloring my hair more consistently, playing with my son, smiling in pictures with him. I can focus on what I'm saying at work and how I'm saying it and how I can help people, and not what do they think of my teeth. I can focus on the clothes I'm wearing and feel more confident with just being in my skin. So, and not to mention focusing on my makeup a little bit more, because why not? I already did more work to my teeth or my mouth, so yeah. It also brought forward a few new levels of thinking and confidence for me. If you've watched my other videos, one thing that I've mentioned is that for someone like me and you, or you in the future, to go through and go forward and make that really hard decision to remove all your teeth, or some of your teeth, one of your teeth, and get a denture, you are strong as because who in their right mind, go think about people you pass, people you talk to. Do you think for 1 second that if you ask them, hey, if you had to, would you remove all your teeth? No, they will not. Do you want to know why? They don't know what it's like to carry the weight you've been carrying. and you are willing to make that decision to better your life. And to think about things like that takes you to a whole new level mentally and emotionally once this is all said and done, and you can acknowledge and give yourself credit for doing that. Yeah, you're kind of unstoppable. Because you literally went forward and you did something that there are so many people who, that is something they probably are deathly afraid of, is having all their teeth gone at some point in their life. And I went ahead and I did it at 27 years young with one child. And it's made me more aware to people who do have to make those kinds of decisions every day. And not just with dentures, but other surgeries as well. They had to make that tough call, and they deserve that recognition of strength and courage. Because it's not even just that you made a decision and you went and you cut your hair. You made a decision and now you're going to live with it. Now you're going to cope with it. Now you're going to find a way to live with it. I might have said that twice. The point is, you just feel unstoppable if you let yourself. I know that there's a handful of people, there's a handful of YouTube videos out there where people are bogged down, they're bummed out, this isn't what I thought it was gonna be, this is terrible, this is horrible, this is the worst. Yeah, no. Do you know what's the worst? Your thought process on it. Your lack of creativity and problem-solving skills to find a way and make a way. Your teeth are gone. That is the punchline. They are gone. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit there and feel bad that you made a decision that, hey, let's face it, you made that decision for a reason? And I hope that with good ethics, your dentist or your surgeon agreed with you. Yes, you needed this. It was to save you. It was to help you. So because your dentures didn't fit the first time they were put in after surgery, fresh out of surgery, you're disappointed, you're upset, you're ticked off at your surgeon and your dentist. No. No. You are strong. You are not going to think like that. I'm not going to let you think like that, because other YouTubers didn't let me think like that. You are unstoppable. You can do this. You will find a way to do this, because it will give you a better way of life. I went off on a tangent. Some of the benefits of getting dentures is that is how you will feel. If you had the courage to get all of your teeth removed and find a way to make dentures work for you, what else are you capable of? Go to that job interview that you were scared of, because now you have a new smile. Go talk to that girl. Go talk to that man that you were maybe a little shy before. Flash that smile. Do it. Do it. You want to rock blue eyeshadow and take a selfie? Hey, you know what? I will come on here for you with blue eyeshadow. I'm all about the 90s. Go change up your hair now. Whatever it is that you want to do, you can do that. If this didn't make you feel free or doesn't make you feel free, I don't know what will. I really don't. I really, really don't. Because I know what it was like to feel that heavy, carrying that way of life around and always trying to find a way, second by second, holiday by holiday. How am I going to get through this and not feel as crummy as I do right now? Well, it's done. So, now what? Some of the other not so great things or unanticipated things are things can get stuck between the acrylic gum and the teeth, the plastic teeth there. And for me, it's not that you can see anything is stuck, because for me, you couldn't when I had it. It's the fact that for me, it's an unsanitary situation. It's the fact that food is now lodged and it needs to get out, because if not, it's going to build up bacteria and it's going to decay in my dentures. So I did, by the way, guys, end up getting it out. So that was awesome. But that's something else I didn't anticipate. So if you are still meeting with your dentist, your surgeon, dentist, whoever's making your dentures, I would ask them, hey, when this happens, what can I do, or what do I have to do to get that out of my denture? Or is there something I can do to prevent it? I put salt and pepper on my food, so probably not really preventable, but if you can have an idea in your arsenal, I would go ahead and have that. One thing that I saw in the comments on one of my most recent videos from Crease is using air from the dollar store. Go get a can of air and try that. I love that idea. It's not going to harm or damage your dentures. And sometimes keeping it as simple as possible is the best solution. I didn't get a chance to try it, but I would like to go to the dollar store now and go get that as a backup, just in case of when it happens. So there's that. Let me think, what else? I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. I don't think there's anything really bad about dentures. I would say that the biggest thing is there's so many different variables and factors that can come into play that it's really hard for you to anticipate what to expect. And I would just say keep researching and looking into everything you can to find every situation possible so you can be best prepared and equipped to handle it when it comes up. One thing that I ended up knowing about, but I feel like not as many people know about it as they should, are the regular maintenance and upkeep of your dentures. Your dentures are not going to always fit well. They are not always going to sit well. And that comes with doing things like soft relines, going to your dentist, scheduling an appointment to get a soft chair reline, chair side soft reline, getting your hard relines, and every, 5 to 8 years, getting new dentures. And I know they cost money. Some insurances allegedly will cover dentures every so often or every so many years. Look into that and make sure you stay on top of these soft relines, stay on top of your hard reline. I had seen videos where people have had their dentures for so many years and never got a soft reline. They never got a hard reline because they didn't know that was a thing. My dentist, personally, as much as I love him, if it weren't for YouTube and me watching real people with these situations, I would not have known. I wouldn't have known to have asked, hey, after my surgery, I want to schedule my first soft reline in advance. Okay, yeah, we can do that. When do you want? And we plucked it away. My hard reline, when I asked about it, I know it was supposed to be done in December, but with everything going on that I mentioned in my past video, wasn't really feasible. And it's okay. My dentures aren't the worst fitting right now. It's just something I want to stay on top of. I think those are basically the main things, is that. Another, now that I'm thinking about it, another thing also is practicing eating your food while making sure that you're getting enough nutrients in your body. Those are going to be two different things that you're going to have to somehow balance out and check for yourself. It's not going to be the same for any two people. Some people can go straight into practicing eating their food with dentures, and I couldn't be more happy for them. That is fantastic. For me, certain things are just really painful and uncomfortable to the point where I was not eating at all, and I needed to eat. I've now gotten myself back up another 5 pounds, which is a huge win. It's still a little ways off from where I want to be, but that's what it came down to for me. Once I get these adjustments done and another reline, I'm sure that it's going to help even more. Right now, that's just kind of where I'm at. So when you see people that say, oh, I was eating chicken and pasta and everything else in the same week, like as I got my surgery and all this other stuff, that's fantastic. Good for them. For anyone who's struggling a little bit, maybe in a similar position as myself, that is still okay. Be patient with yourself. Don't give up. Stay healthy, whatever it takes. And that's really what it comes down to. I found that for me personally, figuring out, is it a situation where you need to take out both your top and bottom denture to eat? I don't really like to, but sometimes that is just what the doctor ordered for me. My face is really tired of having the dentures in all day, so sometimes, yeah, I'll eat without my dentures. But more often than not, I'll take out my bottom denture and I'll eat with just my top denture in. And that is totally comfortable for me. It's just the cutting right here that really sucks. But yeah, I would say those are the main good versus not so amazing or awesome things about having dentures. Another part that I would like to mention is with the surgery. For me, I was IV sedated and I was completely knocked out. So a quick, long story short, I arrived at my dentist's office. They got me in pretty quickly. I gave them my dentures in their case. I emptied the water out in advance for them, put it down on the table, got in the chair. They started hooking me up and asking me how I was feeling. Hey, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm excited. They made sure my heart rate wasn't too high, and then they were talking to me at the time about the Gabby Petito case and how sad it was and everything. And I remember kind of agreeing and saying, yeah, that was so sad, as they put the IV in, which didn't really hurt. The needle itself didn't really hurt that much, and I consider myself to have a pretty low pain tolerance, but it didn't hurt that bad. And then the next thing you know, I felt my forehead get heavy, and then it was like 4, 3, 2, 1. Out. Next thing was, I remember blinking. The assistant was helping me out of the surgery chair into like a wheelchair. According to her, when I went back and asked her, I actually got up by myself and put myself in the chair. I don't remember doing that. I have no idea. Because I walked in and I was like, hey, you are strong to be able to pick me up and put me in that chair by yourself. And she's like, I didn't. You just got up. So, I don't know. But I had gotten into the chair. She wheeled me into the recovery room. I remember trying to answer her because she was asking me how I was feeling, if everything was okay, if the gauze was okay. But my mouth was full, like literally full of gauze and dentures and everything else. So I'm sitting in the chair and it's all very here and there, kind of spacing in and out. And it got to a point where I couldn't really talk. I was choking on the gauze. It was getting bloody. So I had to write out notes to the assistant who left, came back, changed out my gauze and everything. Other than that, the surgery itself was, I couldn't have asked for it to have gone better, except that the one tooth wouldn't have been missed, go back and watch those videos if you would like. Basically talking about how my surgery went. They've completely missed a tooth. And the pain afterwards was very horrible. There's no getting around it. You had all your teeth removed. It was horrible. So, if you can somehow have your pain medication ready ASAP, do that. And granted, you're still going to be numb, but the sooner that you can get those painkillers into your system, the better off you will be. And then stay on top of them. If it's every 4 to 6 hours, take it every 4 to 6 hours. Whatever it says, do that. Do not waste time. The first time that I went, I was pretty late. I wish I would have had them a little sooner. It's okay. It is what it is. The second time I had to go back and get this tooth removed, there was a horror film in the parking lot of that Walgreens. Let's just say that. So, have your painkillers ready. Have everything kind of set up. Have a good game plan in place. If my surgery ends at X time, I'm going to still be numb for about this long. This is when I'm going to have my painkiller by, and so on and so forth. Be better at being prepared and planned out than I was. That's going to be the biggest thing. So that was the good and the not so good with the surgery itself. Other than that, for my next video, I'm kind of thinking about talking about things regarding confidence in general and what can you do to kind of overcome seeing yourself without your dentures in. The changes that will happen to your face shape and your lips, because, you know, your lips kind of lose their fullness with dentures. Things like that. That's just kind of a few of my ideas for future videos. If you guys have any other video ideas, any questions or topics or anything like that, go ahead and leave a comment. Leave a comment anyways. We have 300 subscribers now. I've been seeing the comments where people are interacting with each other, and the more that this feels like an actual true community, I feel like I'm actually doing a thing here. I feel like I'm actually accomplishing something here, so that's awesome. If you do like videos like this, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you would like to see more videos from me in the future, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.